So your fantasy draft is fast approaching, and you're still trying to figure out who to take in these mid to late rounds in the running back room specifically. I'm bringing you 6 running backs I believe could potentially be league winners for the 2022 season. So let's get it. And at number 1, we have Chase Edmonds. Current ADP on 444, RB33, underdog RB25, and for me, he's my RB32. He's a guy has been very, very special, very sneaky, kind of creeping up these ADPs and creeping up a lot of people's draft rankings, right? And the last year, let me just remind you, he was injured for the majority of the season, but from weeks 1 to 9, he was RB17, 75 attempts, 472 yards, 5.7 yards per carry. He was 6th in runs with 20 plus yards or more. He was a top 10 in targets in the air amongst running backs. Chase Edmonds is kind of sneaky. Now he goes to Miami. He was the first running back that was signed to this Miami Dolphins team. And I know a lot of people saying this is going to be a rush roulette in the backfield. You don't want anything to do in the backfield with this running back room specifically. And I know it's hard, and I get it. And this is why I believe in the middle of the 8th round, even early 9th, I think it could be great value as your RB2, depending on your strategy. Maybe you're going an anchor RB. Maybe you're just going late running back strategy. Getting Chase Edmonds in the middle of the 8th round could be a fantastic value. And one thing I do want to point out to you guys, and I really want to, lead you in that direction. Go check out the I Am Athlete video where Chase Edmonds is talking to Shady McCoy about why he actually chose the Miami Dolphins. I mean, he had contracts paid good money to the Houstons, to the Bills, and a couple other teams, but he came to Miami specifically to play with Mike McDaniels, and he loves the run blocking scheme here. As for him as a talent and the way he likes to play, and he believes, he even says it, obviously everyone's going to talk up their own talk, but the way he says and how he's preaching about this running back room and how he loves the run blocking scheme and how it fits his game could be tremendous for Chase Edmonds. So I'm grabbing Chase Edmonds as my late round running back. And at number 2, we have Dameon Pierce. I think it's safe to say he's going to be the starter for the Houston Texans moving forward. Current ADP on 444, RB35, on underdog RB29. My rankings, he's my RB30 currently. I know a lot of people are worried about Marlon Mack. A lot of people are worried about Rex Burkhead, but what we saw in preseason was fantastic. And I know you have to take that with a grain of salt, but I mean, how can this guy not be the starter? If I really do encourage you to go watch that preseason game, week 2, if I'm not mistaken, against the San Francisco 49ers. The first series of the game that he had, 6 carries, 37 yards, and a touchdown. The way he was running angry, hard. He had great vision in between the tackles, creating space for himself, giving himself some leverage. I mean, what he did and what he is going to do in the NFL, in my opinion, in 2022 is going to be fantastic. If you can get him in the middle of the 9th round as an RB2, depending on your strategy once again, or as an RB3, this could be a steal of the draft. I mean, I liked him coming out of college. I love the landing spot. Once again, Marlon Mack, Rex Burkhead, all these guys aren't really worrisome to me, and I do believe he could catch the ball outside the backfield as well. So once again, Dameon Pierce going in the middle of the 9th round. I mean, how can you give this up right now as an RB2 or RB3, depending on your strat? I'm taking Dameon Pierce every single day. And at number 3, we have Devin Singletary. The hype train is real with Singletary and these Bills, honestly. Current ADP on 444, RB30, underdog RB36. My rankings, he's my RB26. Let me remind you, in 2021, he finished RB18 from weeks 14 to 18. He was the RB2. Once again, take it with a grain of salt, but go watch that preseason game. He was running strong with great vision. He was hitting the hole with confidence. It looks like that confidence from the past year, the second half of the season, is kind of coming into this year as well. It feels like he's running with confidence. It feels like they are trusting Devin Singletary with that ball. Don't get me wrong. I love James Cook. I love everything he's going to bring and do for this Buffalo Bills team. But right now, maybe in the first half of the season, or even as it continues, maybe Devin Singletary will have a consistent workload moving forward. It's not going to be this shaky Devin Singletary, Zach Moss, where it was the first couple of years. Now I think Devin Singletary found his stride and is going to be a really good value for you. I'm a person that has already drafted Devin Singletary in multiple redraft leagues. It's a very small sample size. Once again, in preseason, 4 carries for 39 yards. He was averaging 9.8 yards per carry. Super unrealistic. I understand that. But from what we are seeing, what we are being shown on film in preseason, Devin Singletary has the confidence. Devin Singletary is this lead back. But right now, Devin Singletary to be an RB2, depending on your strat once again, or an RB3 is a steal. In my opinion, in the early 8th round. Get Singletary. And at number 4, we have Rhamondre Stevenson. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, get on the hype train. I am a believer. I know it's hard to kind of work with this Russian roulette of a backfield that we have in New England, but hey, take a journey with me. Right now, current ADP, RB35, underdog RB29. My rankings, he's my RB29 as well. Rhamondre Stevenson in my rankings has officially moved ahead of Dameon Harris, and let me tell you the reasons why. Okay, I did some more digging and did some more research. If you look back in the second half of the season from weeks 8 to 18, Rhamondre Stevenson actually out-carried Dameon Harris. Granted, there was injuries, but there was injuries for both Dameon Harris and Rhamondre Stevenson at certain points of the season. Dameon Harris had 107 carries from weeks 8 to 18, and from weeks 8 to 18 for Rhamondre Stevenson, he had 116 carries. It's not a massive gap, but when you really look at it, it's a 50-50 workload. And people are saying, well, Rhamondre Stevenson is just going to be a third down back. Actually, I think Rhamondre Stevenson and Dameon Harris are going to be sharing a first and second down back or workload. And then Rhamondre Stevenson is going to be the third down guy that's going to be passing the balls out of the air. And I know you're saying, well, we will all worry about Ty Montgomery. And unfortunately, and the reason why, one of the big reasons why he officially moved up is because Ty Montgomery is injured. I know Pierre Strong and et cetera, is in the backfield, but I do believe Rhamondre Stevenson knows this offense. He's going to be carrying the workload. There's going to be a lot of confidence from Bill Belichick and whoever the hell is the play caller, the offensive coordinator there for the New England Patriots. I think it's Rhamondre Stevenson all day, every day in this backfield. We saw a glimpse of that in the preseason game. Another thing, once again, with a grain of salt, take mental notes, but one thing that I wrote down in my notes in the preseason game, if I'm not mistaken, week 2 against the Carolina Panthers, Rhamondre Stevenson was in a 2-minute drill with the first team. I think that is crucial to really take in account when you're drafting someone like this. You want third down guys, PPR guys, especially if you're in a PPR league. Getting Rhamondre Stevenson in the 9th round, I think it's fantastic. RB2 or an RB3 specifically. I think if you get an RB2 in the early 9th round, I think that's fantastic. That's a crazy draft for you. But RB3, I think, will be great. I do believe he has RB2 upside coming up in the second half of the season. But once again, I am taking Rhamondre Stevenson every single day in the 9th round. And at number 5, we have Michael Carter of the New York Jets. Current ADP on 444, RB41 on underdog, RB48. And for me, he's my RB38. Look, with all the reports coming out, I know it's a bit confusing. One thing I want to say and make clear, I do believe Breece Hall, in my opinion, will be the lead back. But if the reports are true that Michael Carter is the lead back, I do believe it's going to switch some point in the season, okay? Let me get that out the way. Number 2, one thing I've always said from the very beginning since Breece Hall was drafted was that Michael Carter, in my opinion, was always going to have a role. You know, I thought that the floor was really safe for Michael Carter, but the ceiling was capped, right? So why not get Michael Carter in the middle of the 10th round as an RB3 for your team that is a guy that can catch the ball out of the backfield? I don't see what's the problem with that, right? Once again, I understand Breece Hall is talented. I'm with you on your side. Breece Hall, he's a guy. He's more talented than Michael Carter. He can run between the tackles. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. But, you know, the only way we can really see that happening is with opportunity. And we don't know that yet. What we do know is the reports coming out. Is it true? We don't know. But let's kind of lean on it just for a little bit. Michael Carter is going to be the lead back in this backfield. The lead back in this backfield. From what we understand, let's just say for the first 5 to 6 weeks, and then it will flip. Then Michael Carter, in my opinion, once again, a good floor is going to be a pass catching back on third downs. Why not take Michael Carter in the middle of the 10th round as an RB3? I love Michael Carter back. They're not just going to say, thank you so much for coming through, Michael, but now we have Breece. You know, that was never going to happen. That's not going to happen. The running back by committee in the NFL is a real thing. And once again, if you heard and if you watched our past videos, the league feel like it's going that way. No matter where you got these guys in your draft, no matter how talented they are, kind of feels like they're going in that running back by committee. Once again, Michael Carter in the 10th round, I think is a steal. And at number 6, we have Isiah Pacheo, another hype train that's kind of coming out. Can we really trust it? Can we really believe it? I don't know. But here's the ADP. ADP on 4-4, RB 48, on underdog RB 47. He's my RB 58, so I'm a little bit more hesitant. But as I continue to hear all the reports, I can continue to see the preseason games. He's been playing with some of the first teams. He's been getting a lot of first team reps in practice. And the more I think about it, the more it's like, why is Ronald Jones there? Is he really going to be utilized in the way that we think he is? You know, he's kind of like a run in between the tackles type guy, a kind of a goal line back. And it's not what the Chiefs are known for doing. These guys are known for speed. MVS, McCole Harmon, they draft Sky Moore, they had Tyreek Hill, and now Isiah Pacheo, who ran like a 4.35 in the NFL Combine. Why is Ronald Jones there? Once again, I think he'll probably be a goal line guy, but at the same time, I'm kind of believing the thought process of Ronald Jones being cut on this team. Even if Ronald Jones does not get cut, I do believe Isiah Pacheo is the better running back for this scheme. Is he the more talented back? No. He is the better running back for this scheme. The speed, the jet sweeps, all the creative way Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes is going to be on this field. I think Isiah Pacheo could be a good late round draft pick for you. He's going in the middle or late to 12th round. Zach has been taking him almost in every single redraft league as a flyer. What's going to hurt you in the 12th round? You know, why not take Isiah Pacheo, who right now currently going as RB 48 according to the community, and then RB 47 on underdog. I mean, take a flyer and on a late round guy like Isiah Pacheo, who could potentially maybe finish as a top 30 RB. Why not take a flyer? And I do have an honorable mention, and that's Brian Robinson. He was originally on the list, but after the incident, if you do not know, he was in a shooting involving carjacking. He was shot in the lower body, and he should be fine right now. But the question is, how long he's going to be out for? So right now, I did have Brian Robinson as one of my top 6 guys, but I had to move him as an honorable mention just purely based off of how much time he's going to miss. He is currently going on 4-for-4 as RB 45, on underdog RB 41. He was my RB 31. He's definitely going to move down my rankings. I'm probably moving down 4 or 5 spots, to be completely honest with you. But he was going in the middle of the 11th round, which sounds crazy because I was taking him in like the 9th, middle of the 8th round in some of our redraft leagues, because that's how high I am and was on Brian Robinson. So before the whole incident of the shooting, Brian Robinson for me was clearly the lead back. Antonio Gibson was pushed to the side. He couldn't. It's unfortunate because Brian Robinson coming out of college, we were saying he won't be this guy. You know, he's gonna be a guy that's gonna help, but he's not gonna be a lead back in the NFL. He gets drafted to the Washington Commanders, and first thing that happens in the first carry of preseason, Antonio Gibson fumbles the ball. Not exactly what you want. Brian Robinson comes out and runs the ball strong, and he was doing everything right. He did everything right. I do believe when he does come back onto the field, he is going to be a great late round value. So I do have Brian Robinson in a lot of leagues right now. He's probably going to fall even lower with the injury. And I do believe, why not take a flyer? I'll probably say he probably goes in like maybe where Isiah Pacheo goes now, 12th, maybe 13th round in your redraft leagues, purely based off of the incident that's happened. Why not take a flyer? Hopefully he's not out for the whole season, depending on the injury. Let's just say, and I can't really talk on it because I don't know the severity of the injuries, and maybe when this video comes out, we know more of it. But maybe he comes back maybe week 4, week 5. I think that's a good opportunity to get a guy sitting on your IR, if you have IR spots in your league, and have him come in for the second half of the season, because once again, he ran strong. He was a goal line back. He looks extremely better than Antonio Gibson, in my opinion. Why not take Brian Robinson as a flyer? We love Brian Robinson. We hope he gets better. But that is my 6 league-winning RBs that I believe you can get in the mid to late rounds. Let us know what you think. Comment down below. Good luck this year.
Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos,
watch it.
You can also subscribe
right now
if you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/fantasylandfam.